this set of educational cards. This is another cool one with a dandelion, and then there's a bee covered in pollen. If you're a beekeeper, at some point you're going to be asked to do a presentation about bees to an elementary group or a community group, and you're going to take your smoker and all your show and tell items, but there are a lot of things that are kind of hard to take. So if you have some really good pictures, then you can have the pictures and talk about them. So we've put together this set of educational cards that you can use, and on the front there's a great picture of whatever the topic is. This one is the first one, and it's just the beekeeper. And on the back it'll remind you things like, tell them who you are, and why are you a beekeeper, and why do people keep bees, and some fun facts. And it'll tell you what's in the picture, and then some questions that you could talk about. You don't have to cover everything that's on the card. You can pick and choose what you think is interesting to talk about. This one is about bee stingers, because that's one of the first questions that I ever get asked by the kids when I go teach kids classes. They're like, what about stingers? How many times have you been stung? And so here's a picture of a bee stinging somebody, and you can see its little stinger sac there, which enables you then to talk about what to do if you get stung, how to scrape the stinger out, what's in a stinger, that only female bees can sting, drones don't have stingers, interesting stuff like that. This is another cool one with a dandelion, and then there's a bee covered in pollen. And this one is about pollination. You can talk about how the bees pollinate things and why they're important. Another one about how they forage and they get nectar and water and propolis, and you can see the little bee's tongue. That would be a hard thing to carry with you, but you can have a picture and show it to them. Another cool thing about these cards is you don't have to worry about technology. Sometimes you go places and you've got this PowerPoint set up, but there's no way to display it in the room where you're doing the presentation. So this takes care of that problem. You can carry it with you anywhere. You could be outside on a hot day holding these cards, and you can walk around and show people. I've talked to groups of kids with these. I've talked to groups at a senior group. They're interesting, and they have topics that you can talk about or not, depending on the age of the people you're talking about. Bees too. Look at this cool slide that has, you've got your capped brood, and then you've got the larva, and I think there's even a little egg right there. So you've got the whole sort of life stages of the pre-emergent bee right there. A picture of a swarm. You can talk about superorganisms and how bees are superorganisms, which is a really cool and important topic for, I think, a lot of elementary age kids. And then there's a really cool thing at the end. There's the queen. You can talk about the queen, the drone, and then at the very end there is a game that you can play where you hold up this card and you let the people in your group see if they can find the queen. So they're always surprised at how hard that is. And then you talk about, oh, but when they're in the hive, they're moving around. You're not just looking at this static picture. If you want to get more in depth, we have an extension pack that has things like more information about baby bees, a whole slide about bees' eyes, which are really cool. There's some really neat stuff you can tell them about that. There's comb and beeswax. So we have two sets. One is the basic set, and it's green cards that I've already shown you a bunch of. And then there's the expansion set, and these are the yellow cards. And they are not so much in order like the basic one is, but you can put them in the order you want them. So there are things you may or may not want to talk about. There's more information about baby bees, how bees can see, which is, I don't know if you know, but these eyes are fascinating. These are 12 by 18, and they come in a heavy cardstock that you can have laminated or not. You can get just the green pack or just the yellow pack, or you can get the whole pack and you get a little bit of a discount if you do that. And then you have all the things, and you don't have to know all the stuff that's on the card. It could be read the stuff on the back. So here is one that you might not want to show your second graders. It is this one. So if you don't know what this is, you could look at the back and you could read the talking points that say, after mating, the drone's endophallus, which is his reproductive organ, is everted and the drone dies shortly afterwards. There is another couple of, in the yellow pack, there are another couple of Find the Queen. There actually are 3 more Find the Queen games. You could do this with your group and have a prize, or it gives you the tip to, if you see the queen, put your finger on your nose, which is a good, that way everybody's not pointing and trying to get up and touch it. So these would be a great gift for a library or an elementary school or any kind of club, or anyone that might be teaching about bees. If you're working on your Master Beekeeper certification, this is really good to carry around to do all your public service classes. If you're interested, you can go to our website, foxhoundbeecompany.com, and it's on our website. You can buy them there.